Hello everyone, welcome. So we will be going ahead with NCRT CBSE class 9 chapter 6, and the name of the chapter is tissues. So first and foremost, before we go ahead with this chapter, in this previous chapter we studied about cells which are the basic unit of life. So these cells, when they form a group with some specialized function, they form the tissues. Okay. So let us think of any particular tissue. There are so many tissues in our body. Okay. And numerous tissues are there. So we have muscular tissue, we have connective tissue, we have a number of tissues are there. So these tissues, so connective tissue is what? It is helping for the transport. So all the cells which are specialized to do the function of transport will get grouped together and will form the connective tissue like blood. Okay. So this is how there is the formation of tissues. So each specialized function is taken up by a different group of cells. Since these cells, they carry out only a particular function, they do it efficiently. So in human beings, muscle cells contract and relax to cause movement, nerve cells carry messages, blood flows to transport oxygen, food, etc. And in plant as well, what is happening? Vascular tissues is going to conduct food and water. Okay, so in the multicellular organisms, these tissues, they show a division of labor. Okay, so what does this mean? This means that a particular function is carried out by a cluster of cells at a definite place in the body. So this cluster of cells are called tissues, which is arranged and designed so as to give the highest possible efficiency of function. Blood, phloem, and muscles are all the examples of tissues. Now next, coming to, are plants and animals made of same tissue? So if they are going to have similar functions, then is it that they are made of same tissue? So there are few differences between plants and animals. So plants, you basically find them stationary or fixed. They don't move like animals do. Plants, they stand upright. So that's why they have a lot of supportive tissue. And the supportive tissues are basically generally the dead cells which is there. Whereas in animal cells, what happens? We move around for food, shelter, and XYZ. We consume more energy as compared to plants. So most of the tissues, they are living in animals. So the animals and plants, they have different kinds of tissues. Okay. Then another difference between animals and plants is the pattern of growth. The growth in plants is in the certain regions, while it is not so in animals. So there are very some tissues are there in plants that can divide throughout the life. These tissues, they are localized in certain regions, like the nodes which are there, leaves you see growing, the flowers you see growing, so that is there. And whereas there is a few places, few other regions of the plants that do not, based on the dividing capacity, plants, they either have a growing tissues, which is a meristematic tissue, and those which do not grow, they form the permanent tissue. Now cell growth in animals is more or less uniform. It's very uniform. So there is no such demarcation of dividing and non-dividing regions. So each and every parts, they do have, their growth is there or no growth is there. Okay, the structural organization of organs and organ system is far more specialized and localized in complex animals than even in very complex plants. So this is how basically animals and plants are different, having they don't have the same type of tissues. Okay, So they are differently adapted for sedentary existence, or basically the plants if we talk about, and active locomotion for animals if I talk about. Okay, so in this it is with reference to these complex animals and plant bodies that we will now talk about the concepts of tissue in details. So now we will come to the tissues in detail. So this is all about what is a tissue, okay, and how it is different. The animals and plants have different types of tissues. Okay, so the next one will be in the next video. We will be talking about various plant tissues. Thank you.